Necesitamos estampillas que cambien.
Close enough.
You are now tuned in to your number one radio station.
Violent people.
Radio.
What's my job?
He's
Being
1984.
our correspondent for wrestling of years past.
Oh yeah, 100%. I get instead. Actually, I'll be talking about the Patreon I subscribe to for $6.66.
We'll get into that.
Did you also subscribe, Dan?
No, but I'm very familiar with Blake.
Oh, how you familiar with Blake?
We're buds.
I bet. He seems like someone you'd be friends with.
Facebook friends.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
What's that? How do you pronounce that Russian deathmatch wrestler? Nabiv Alexander.
The Texas guy?
No, the crazy Russian one. He has like the sand pit death matches and stuff.
I believe you're thinking of Die Hard Dustin Lee.
Yeah, that's who it is. But for a while, Blake was like the hookup for him.
Okay.
Is this Dmitry Alexandrov?
No, isn't that the Texas guy?
Yeah, he's the
Oh,
guy in Texas.
Yeah, that's. I thought you were
That's what I thought you
asking
were
who
talking
the
about.
guy in Texas was.
No, I was asking who the Russian guy is that I'm thinking of.
I have no idea who the Russian guy you're thinking of is, Dan. But maybe there's matches on the Patreon between like rap documentaries and porn and
And Wild Boys.
Wild Boys season 1 and 2.
That's amazing.
That's a great
What
show.
is he doing here? What is he doing? This guy has it
getting-
all. Oh, shoot.
My phone is freaking out right now for some reason.
Who's freaking out?
My phone. I wanted to silence it, and instead it is just opening every app I have.
Hey, so this isn't going on. Who is Master P a big deal in 2025?
He's a big deal to me.
Okay. Not big enough deal where you're missing the show, but big deal.
That'd be a really funny reason to miss a show.
Not
He
even
is
to go
Mr.
see Dynamite, but just Master P is on TV.
Yeah, yeah. I missed the show not because like someone was interested in me sexually like 20 minutes ago, but because I need to see Master P.
And I would totally get that, I guess, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I need to know more. I need to know more.
I love Master P. We're bringing real wrestling back.
Yeah. Love it. There's so much going on. I just don't... What could he possibly be bringing to the table here?
He's bringing me joy.
People are
That's why
very.
I'm going to
excited.
watch. I'm going to watch this later, and I'm going to have a great time.
In my
Because-
dream booking, he's hyping All In Texas and reigniting his feud with Texas.
I hope Master P is on like a deal for multiple dates, and so we got the No Limit Soldiers at Dean 2.
Hey, I mean, if you're starting the show with them, you gotta mean business.
I mean, I feel like Phil and or Eric, one of them has to be a No Limit guy.
By the
One
way,
of
we
them
gotta
has
call it.
still has a copy of Get OD on cassette.
We got to keep all this in for the show. This is Violent People Radio, whatever episode number it is. We can't
47.
leave this- Yeah, 47. Welcome. I'm Pat. You're hearing Chris, Dan, Sam, and we are talking Master P. That's the big top.
And we're starting with the big top.
I don't
It's a
know.
big top. Triple A.
I'm just like,
Owned
how,
by
how can we
WWE.
release, how can we release this episode without all the Master P talk?
Yeah, Master P, like who?
Mr. P.
Mr. P.
Mr. P
Uh,
himself.
Who's everyone's favorite No Limit member?
I mean, you can't really say mystical anymore because of some things he did. I'm trying to remember which of the No Limit soldiers has committed rape or not.
Yeah, that's
a tough one.
tough
That
question.
sounds
I
tough.
know
That's a
mystical.
landmine you're walking into here.
Yeah, I can't remember if Silk the Shocker has a clean conscience. And I don't want to say Snoop Dogg because that feels like a cop out. I guess I just got to
mean-
go with Master P.
You could say like Currency. He was there at like the end. I don't think Currency has been.
I'm pretty sure I heard that Currency does drugs. So
Oh yeah, you probably heard that from Currency.
yeah, his all of his drug songs.
Folks, what the hell are we talking about here?
Wasn't Brad Armstrong in the No Limit Soldiers?
Yeah,
Okay, that's probably my
They make
favorite.
music.
he made the beautiful music of the sweet science of professional wrestling.
That's the sweetest music of all.
He was actually, I watched Stevie Richards' YouTube thing about he was doing like a tier list of the safest versus the most unsafe people to work with who would like hit him for real. And he said that Brad Armstrong was the if you didn't keep your eyes on him, you wouldn't even know he was touching you.
I don't. What are we Why are we talking about this?
You brought up Brad Armstrong.
Dane brought up Brad Armstrong.
Someone brought up
Hey,
Brad
Sam,
Armstrong.
can you stop bringing up Brad Armstrong all the time?
Yeah, I mean,
I have some.
honestly, if anyone on this show was going to bring up Brad Armstrong, I'm shocked it was Dan and not you.
What does that mean?
You know what it
I
means.
mean, you're always
Oh
going
my
on about the fucking Armstrongs and Bullet Bob and
Bullet
Dog.
Bob, my man.
Yeah, it's becoming a problem. It's disrupting the show.
I mean, how have you not covered the Armstrongs already in your 1984 watch along?
That's a great point. That's on me. That's on me 1,000%.
Then again, it's on me for saying that before asking. So, what have you been watching this week, Sam?
This is a great question.
See, I wasn't.
no.
Real fast. I'm gonna interrupt. I was gonna introduce Sam if I was hosting and say that I was going to apologize for all the talk about him having a lot of money and subscribing to CMLL. Because now the reason I need to make fun of him is tell people what you subscribe to today.
I subscribe to a Patreon from, let me see here, Blake0561. It is labeled as Channel 666 on Patreon. And you can get in for the low price of $6.66 or $3. I don't think there's a difference between the tiers. Dan, why would you make fun of me about this?
What
You
pushed
just
you
got
over the edge? To
way
be
too
like,
much
I
money,
need
man.
this?
I was like, a Tim Strange match is worth the $6.66.
Oh, so he actually has wrestling. You hadn't mentioned any wrestling so far. You were just
Sorry.
like, he's got Wild Boys, he's got porn, he's got the Beef DVDs.
It came from your show, the Circle 6 show that you posted. He has that on the Patreon.
He has the Mania Week one.
Yeah. We got
Wow.
Cruel versus Masha here. We
are
got
you not-
AJ Gray versus Judge Joe Dredd.
Are you
Just
guys seriously not familiar with Blake 0561?
No,
YouTube
Dan.
That's fucking
Why
nuts
would
to
we
me.
be?
Dude,
That's fucking nuts to me. He's a big deal.
He's a big deal to who? You?
I'm looking it up right now. 25,000 subscribers. This is like a deathmatch king. There's like stuff you can only get on his YouTube.
Maybe now he just his Patreon.
And maybe now just his Patreon. I'm finding it. Well, he still posted stuff on YouTube too. It looks like, but like 2 months ago, he posted fucking Zandig Necro Butcher for some reason. But like he's just post deathmatch all the time. He's got the Mike Levy incident on there, and he's got like if you want weird Russian deathmatch shit, that's the guy you go to.
Oh yeah, his right before all the Vegas footage he posted Crackheads Gone Wild Volume 1 full DVD. In the caption, dropping some heat, my bad for the delay. Got more content on the way, RN.
Do you think the subscribers to the Patreon were like busting his ass? Like, when are we gonna get the fucking Crackheads DVD?
I don't know about the Patreon, but he does on the YouTube. I don't know who's asking for it, but he does commentary over the matches.
It's that fucking guy.
Yeah, and you know the guy. You're like, I'm excited for this match, and then like he's
God
just fucking
damn it.
cursing and making jokes and just being the fucking man the whole time.
The fucking man. Oh my god. No, there's a lot of stuff here.
Oh man. Okay, so now it all clicks. Now I'm like, okay, I do know this guy.
I thought it was
I didn't
crazy.
know.
I was like, how does Pat never watch this guy's channel?
I've definitely started watching this stuff, and then I think half the times I've been like, okay, this guy's commentary is too annoying. I would rather listen to like fucking actual XPW commentary.
Oh my god, that's harsh.
Fucking rip. But you said you guys are pals? Your best friends?
No, I mean, I've definitely messaged him because the Alex Naviv, I don't know if I'm saying that right, the crazy Russian deathmatch wrestler who like has like a coat hanger that he like, you know, rips people up with, has had like all the sand death matches and stuff. I can't describe it, but like for a while, that was the only way I knew how to get his matches. Was like when Blake was going to post new stuff.
Cool, Dan. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, I subscribed to his Patreon. And I think it's rude that you said it wasn't worth it. Because he has multiple WrestleMania weekend shows ready to go.
Does he have the one with Drake and Ricky?
No.
Oh,
That's because that's going to be on IWTV, I'm fairly certain. Since that is Ruthless. He respects copyright.
I can tell by having both seasons of Wild Boys on there.
He respects independent wrestling.
Okay.
You know? Sorry that you don't.
I mean, he might have licensed Wild Boys. He might have contacted Dick House Entertainment and been like, let's make a deal. I've got this Patreon.
They're like, okay, but how much are you charging? He's like, don't worry, $6.66.
But everything I watched from that sucked. So no reason to watch most of it. But
Now you're really selling me on the Patreon.
I'm flush with cash. Dan, what do you want me to do here? You can't be buried with it, you know what I'm saying? You can't be buried with it. So you gotta watch Judge Joe Dredd versus Tim Strange and AJ Gray versus the aforementioned Judge Joe Dredd.
It always the thing with Judge Joe Dredd is that Joe Dredd is Judge Dredd, the comic book character's name.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't tell if he is a nerd and is like throwing a sly reference to that, or if he just independently came up. You know what would be a tough name? Judge Joe Dredd.
I can't imagine he came up with this by himself.
Wrestlers like that, it's like, dude, fucking learn how SEO works. Never finding your shit, Joe.
Well, he at least spells it different.
Oh.
He only has the one D in Dread.
I can't imagine that'll help Google out, but who knows?
I mean, let's be honest. Who's fucking searching Judge Joe Dredd?
You know what? I take it back. When you do just the 1D, he comes up before Judge Dredd. He's got it figured out.
But Blake
All right.
fucking does not respect that. He does spell it with 2 D's the entire time.
That's how I would spell it.
I love that there is a show that he records where he doesn't know who any of the people are, so it's just question mark versus question mark. He's like,
what
I
show
tried
is that?
messaging the booker, but they would not give me the card. So, World's Greatest
Do you even know
Wrestling.
who promoted it? World's Greatest
Wrestling. Yeah, doesn't seem like the correct
Featuring
name for that
a
promotion.
roster of unknowns.
But yeah, I was not watching as much wrestling as some folks. I definitely got hit with the terrible Mascara Dorada spot that people started saying, "Wow, look at this guy, so talented," and it made me want to personally vomit, because it was dog shit. So I stopped watching wrestling for like 2 days after that. People seem to like Sabu versus Joey Janela. I don't like that match, folks. I think it's
Shut
not
the
very
fuck up.
I don't think it's very good. It's no
It's the best
Mansour
match of
versus
the
Sami
weekend.
Callahan.
Is
No
that a
Mansour
joke?
versus Sami Callahan.
You
Not
legitimately
a
thought
joke.
that match was better than.
Yeah, significantly.
I'm gonna scroll down.
Significantly.
I have notes here. I took a lot of fucking notes. I watched a lot of wrestling, and next to Sammy versus Mance, I wrote, "I get it, Pat. Sammy's fat. I'm gonna rewatch Sabu versus Abyss."
For me, it
That's a
wasn't
little
even just that Sami Callahan is fat now, which I only found out just by watching that match. It's that he got fat and decided that the way to cope with that was to become a Mick Foley tribute act, dressed like Mankind and doing all the Cactus Jack mannerisms. And also, I didn't know how bald he was.
It's pretty funny.
He looks like Bill Murray at the end of Kingpin by the end of the match.
He does.
It's like a
absolutely,
Mick Foley tribute act from like Foley's part of his career when he's writing a book going, "I hated wrestling. I was so fat, I hated wrestling."
it's like he looks like, like the fucking like UK, the UK Undertaker guy, but like for Mankind.
Well, they did a Hardcore Forever tribute spot, so I thought that was pretty good.
I mean, I thought the match was a lot of fun, especially because very early on, Mance, it looked like he had gotten shot in the arm because the barbed wire just caught him the right way and genuinely tore him open, as opposed to all of the obvious blading that they were doing. I thought that added a lot to the match.
Just
And
also just
Mance
do
Warner,
do no ropes.
I still have to take you all to task for your Mance Warner slander. I mean, it was bad enough that you guys were knocking the Celtics last week. You know who I went to? You know who was at Dynamite with me? Fucking Porzingis.
Yikes.
Yeah, no, we were having a great. We were sitting next to each other. We were having a great time. We had a blanket over our
Chumming
laps.
it
We were
up.
jacking each other off. We were sucking and fucking. We were having a blast. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
you chuckleheads were just, going on like, yeah, I hope Orlando knocks them out.
It's close right now.
The balloon explodes above the arena.
They're only up by 3. Yeah, I hated Mance Warner last week, and then I watched this match. It did not help.
Oh, that's bullshit. I
legitimately thought it was one of the worst matches I watched. Like, I actually, when I was taking my notes, because I watched a lot of wrestling, I only wrote about matches I enjoyed, except that match because Pat put it and said we had to watch it. There's no way I'd put it on this list. It was so bad.
I generally don't understand.
Sami Callahan guy. I thought I was the only one on this podcast who wasn't a big Sami Callahan guy. I mean, you're Mr. AIW. How can you not be
9 years ago
down with Sami Callahan and all the Chris brothers and everything that they did?
Well, that's really guys that are known for AIW work. Yeah, you got the wrong promotion.
That's the wrong Midwest indie that starts with an A.
I mean, those guys all work.
The truth is, to those of us who are coastal elites, they are the same promotion.
Oh my god. AIW is fucking hot trash. John Thorne sucks. eat shit.
Yeah, AAW is the fucking peak. It was
The
like it was either
pinnacle.
AAW or 90s All Japan. I can't remember like which was the best. But
Truly.
and then this I was trying to find this fucking match, and I'm like, it's sandwiched between a Joe Hendry tag and then AJ Francis in the main event. And I was like, what's going on?
I love it. I'm wondering what TNA's thinking there because they called it Unbreakable, so they felt like they had to end it with a 3-way.
TNA wanted $10 for this.
I love that.
Oh, that was the other thing. It wasn't included in the Triller thing. I forgot about that.
No, they
you
knew
illegally stream it, Dan. What are we doing here?
That's what I did. I didn't pay $10. I don't have Blake money.
They wanted money for it, but they knew that people were not going to pay as much for this as they would for like Stardom.
Dan, let's talk about things you definitely did watch and enjoy. Josh Bishop's hair is back.
Oh, it is. I did enjoy that match.
Same.
Right. That match.
We're talking about the Zilla 2 cage match, correct?
Yeah. That's the only match I think Josh Bishop had of the weekend.
I think that's very funny because I was like, there had to be another match that he wrestled because why would he be in Vegas otherwise?
I'm pretty confident it was just that they brought it, but he's a fourth rope guy, like a heel.
What is fourth rope?
I don't really even understand it. One time I asked Tim to explain it to me, and then he talked about West Side Gun, and I don't really know who that is either. So I was like, okay, I just don't get it. But
that's what I mean. It's West Side Gun's a rapper, and it's his promotion. That's what it is.
But like Bishop was at their shows while he was injured, like just like hanging out. So I think they like him.
I love that. That's amazing. That's so cool.
Boom, 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 boom.
That match is fun. The hair does. It's very important. He completely falls apart without it.
I woke up at like, I can't remember what time that match was on. Some god awful time. And I put the show on.
Midnight shows in Vegas time.
Yeah, so I put the show on, and there was no chance I was gonna stay awake for it. And then I woke up to get a drink in the middle of the night, and I turn over, and the match was just starting. It was like beautiful destiny. Yeah, it was like hell yes. Woke me up. I couldn't go back to sleep. I was buzzing. I was like, Josh Bishop is back.
Oh, okay, it's not that fucking good. Let's calm down.
The only good AIW wrestler is back. We're cooking.
You only have to watch him in AIW. Did you also watch the Hardys versus Devon's Kids?
I did not go back to watch any of that show.
Come on. I only bring it up so I can sound like I watch a lot of wrestling, Dan. It's important I watch something that you didn't.
You know that was unannounced. Like that was a surprise team, and I think it's a very funny surprise team. Like, we got TNT here.
I love it. It is very much a WWF house show tag match. So beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff.
Did you watch the opener of that show? Leon Slater, Mustafa Ali, Trevor Lee?
No, I did not. I watched Culture Inc. versus the Infantry, though, which I will give thumbs slightly up. That's the official scale.
Okay, all right.
I like both teams. They're good. Dan, carried away. I know we're going to cross pollinate here a lot.
Well, we got to circle back to deciding whether or not the Sabu versus Joey Janela match was a great match or the greatest match of the week.
I also think this thing about watching it live, which I don't think you did, Sam.
Oh, absolutely not.
In the moment,
what hour of the day was this?
The whole thing blends
4
together.
in the morning?
Probably. I mean, I don't remember.
Something like that, yeah.
But it was like, is this match gonna happen? Because it didn't seem like maybe it was. Actually, it was at 10 p.m. Well, that's when the show started, so it probably was like 1 or something. But it was like, is this match gonna happen? Sabu came out wearing the suit, and I was like, oh, he's definitely not wrestling. And then he does.
Came out high as fuck.
Oh, so fucking high.
And then there's like accosting MLJ, and MLJ visibly had no idea why Sabu kept getting in his face or what Sabu was asking of him. Even Joey Janela was just kind of standing there like, are we going to wrestle this fucking thing or what? Like, what's going on?
That's what tells me, this is so stupid for me to say, that's what tells me that the PCO thing was definitely at work and that Emil knew what was happening, because very different body language from him not knowing what's going on, because he was so uncomfortable with Sabu. And And then Sabu almost dies, and then Sandman fucking comes out. It ruled. It ruled.
Sandman comes out and gets lost on the way to the ring. Does not know
ECW
how to get to the
nostalgia
stand.
is stupid, except when it isn't, and this was one of the times it isn't.
I thought this was like, if you're going to put a capstone on, like, not necessarily ECW Sabu, but we're kind of nearing the end of the natural lifespan of like ECW revivals. And I thought, like, okay, if this is the way to end the OG ECW reunion phenomenon, this is the perfect way to do it. Sandman is drunk and can't find his way to the ring. Sabu is wrestling in a fucking white suit for some reason, and can't do any top. Like, well, there weren't any ropes; it was a barbed wire match, but like, can't do any aerial shit anymore. All that stuff, and nearly kills himself taking, like, basically doing a headfirst bullet tope into a concrete floor through a flimsy piece of plywood. Like, I don't know, there was something about it to me that was just like, this is exactly how this story should end. I mean, it was a terrible match, but it was a great match.
Yeah, it's my favorite match of the weekend. I don't know.
Yeah, my issue is I saw the 2 spots that Sabu does that look like he's gonna die in GIF format, and then I heard that Sandman did a 10-minute entrance.
So you're mad you spoiled yourself.
Well, who else was going to come in and chase off the Koger brothers?
That's so fucking
It's true. It's true.
Well, that's the thing. I didn't hear about the Koger brothers, so actually, like, the worst possible thing.
They were
and I was like, oh, this actually is worse than I thought it was.
They were in there, like, stomping on Joey, and just kind of like, you could see in one shot, I think they were like looking over, like, is Sandman here yet? Like, they were starting to freak out because Sandman was taking so long to get to the ring.
I'm not going to tell you that Atticus versus Fuego del Sol was good, but I'm going to tell you the finish was pretty sweet. He did like his brain hammer thing off the top rope into a trash can. It was cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
Fuego,
I think it was like 25
Fuego
minutes
took
before
that Fuego took that like it was a suicide attempt.
Well, he took it like it was going to be his last bump, which I guess it is going to be. So,
yeah, I mean, the big lucha news of the week: Fuego del Sol unmasked. Also, watching it live, he took something like 10 minutes to take off he couldn't untie his boots because he was trying to do the dramatic leaving his boots in the ring.
I felt so bad.
I know. I was just watching that, like, he is going to be like punching himself in the head over this backstage.
Sam really should have helped him with one of the boots while he did the other. It was crazy he didn't like reach down.
Yeah.
Or like slip him like a I don't know, a blade or something, like cut these laces off, man.
Speaking of blades, what did you think of Gabe Kidd versus Mance Warner?
It was not good.
Hell yeah.
It's fine.
I think a lot of Mance Warner's matches are kicking and punching. I wish he was good at kicking or punching.
I disagree. I think he's got good punches.
I think maybe he did 4 years ago. When's the last time you saw like there's great punches from Manser?
Man, I'm watching him versus Sami Callihan and a barbed wire match. You dirty son of a bitch! Don't do this to me.
I'm gonna be honest. I think my Manser Warner hate actually goes back like 3 or 4 years ago. Whenever he was on AEW, and then did the same thing. Had a shit match with Moxley, and it's like we all make fun of Warhorse for having a shit match with Cody. Mance went on TV, shit the bed, and never got asked back again. And no one makes fun of that because I guess Manser's cool.
No, just to be clear, Manser's not cool.
Yeah,
he's number 4 best wrestler in the world last year, from some people's opinion.
Yeah, and
that was unnecessary.
I'm sorry. I hate Mance Warner, and I'm finding out over the last couple of weeks.
You're completely wrong about that because it's not opinion; it's fact. But no, I love Mance just because he is a crazy bleeder and he does dumb stuff all the time. And he's the kind of wrestler, just as a an archetype that I wish there were more of. I wish there were a lot fewer wannabe Christopher Daniels type wrestlers and a lot more, wannabe fucking dumb shit Southern brawlers. Whether or not they're any good at it, it doesn't matter. He's bringing something that is an endangered species in wrestling.
I think for me, it comes down to I had this criticism of Mox, but at a much smaller percentages. If Mance was the wrestler he wants to be, I would like him.
Hey, man, good to know you like Terry Funk. I'm glad we had this epiphany on the podcast.
I do think Mance should go. Like, his haircut last year was better. The current haircut, like the kind of shaved sides mullet, no bueno. He needs like the slicked back, like 80s football coach hair.
I agree.
You know, I wrote down all these positive notes, and you guys are just making me be so negative. What do you guys think of Butterbean Suzuki?
Oh, speaking of positive reactions to things.
No, I'm just like, we'll go in the fucking other way with it, apparently. So let me think of matches I hated for this week.
Whoa!
You hated it. It's a triumph of the human spirit.
It made me actually uncomfortable.
I couldn't hate it because Butterbean walking like a butterbean. Hey, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're just out here wobbling, can't throw punches above like his bottom rib. It's great. That's just life.
It's one of those things where it's like, I really hope he's liking this, because if not, I feel even worse. I hope he's at least having fun.
Don Fry would let him do this if he didn't like it?
For an envelope full of cash, yeah.
How much do you think Don Fry made up this weekend? Not having to put his name on anything, but showing up multiple times with cigars in his mouth.
I'm Don Fry. Who does he have the podcast with?
Don Fry has a podcast?
Oh, it's with Dan Severin. They have it's called Toxic Masculinity.
All right, I gotta listen to that.
I guess they haven't done one in a few months, but I knew.
Okay. Come on,
they've got Rob Schneider as a guest.
Ooh,
Bill Goldberg.
Okay, they got 56 reviews on iTunes. That can't be right. That's not great.
In my head, I just imagine it a conversation between two Charles Bronson impersonations. Like, I know neither of them really sound like that, but in my head, that's what that show is.
Oh my god!
You guys watch the Clusterfuck?
Okay, we had an episode with Rob Schneider, so that's good. That's gonna be a banger. Also, we got Gary Big Daddy Goodrich here. Dan, thanks for bringing this to my attention.
You guys are gonna find this hard to believe. Me and Gary Goodrich, we were Facebook friends, but I had to unfriend him.
You had to break it off with him. Okay.
No, because listen, that guy's a little gross. All he would do was post porn, just like very, very pretty black women. But like, it was like I would hide it from my feed, and then I'd be like, "Hey, man, why is it still on my feed? Who posted this? Oh, of course, Gary Goodrich, this guy I've never met. Why am I Facebook friends with him if he's putting that on my phone when I'm not looking for it?"
Only real friends will stay.
Real friends. How many of us?
Oh my!
Sorry to put him on blast like that, but I just.
Of all like the fucking indie dirtbags you are Facebook friends with, he's the only one you put on blast.
It's like Necro Butcher putting that hate in my timeline. I'm like, that's fine. I got the same shit.
All the guys who are on Facebook, like, anyone got any perks? And you're like, that's okay.
Oh shit! But I did not watch the clusterfuck. But I watched the Doug Gentry Memorial 9-way scramble cage match.
Yeah, that was okay. I mean, it was
fine. It was fun, I guess.
Yeah. It's like I did like Miedo Extremo coming back.
It was so funny because I was like, they had the like the barbed wire apparatus outside, and like Cyclope comes out, and you look at that group, and you're like, oh, I know who's going through this.
Yeah.
Like I was like, there's no. Then once he started climbing, I was like, he's about to go through that, and then someone came out. I was like, oh, Mieto's about to do something stupid with Cyclope, and he just tosses him right off into it.
I did like at the start of the match on commentary, they were like, and this is like leftover from Joey Janela versus Sabu, which
I really
I couldn't
really
tell
like.
I couldn't tell if it was a joke or not. I'm just like, I believe that they just had one that they didn't break, that they forgot to use.
And then Miedo and Cyclope were like, we'll use it.
Yeah, yeah.
I really like Mike DiVecchio. I think he's like one of the worst wrestlers that I love so much. And he got to kind of shine at this match, so I thought that was fun.
He gives me like super like going to an indie in like 2002 vibes where you had like all the little like, and it would look like you'd have like a big fat guy who can do moonsaults like Ringo Loco. You'd have Cyclope. You'd have like little guys, and then you would have like one guy who's clearly like, I will stop at nothing to look like Paul Roma.
He was at a WWE tryout, and I was like, I just can't think of a worse place for you. He's like 5'10".
I mean, they'd bill him as 6'3".
I know it's not the land of the big anymore or whatever, but it's like, no, your whole thing is that you're jacked and do stupid shit. Like that's way better on the indies.
Well, I'm gonna say with the clusterfuck, last year's probably was better than this year's. It had some cute moments, but it got very repetitive, even by the standards of a clusterfuck, because they continually did the bit where like one person is dominating and throwing out everyone else. Like, and the first person to do it was Zeta fucking Steel. And then they had a bit where all the comedy people, or no, first they had a bit where all the queer people came out, and Pero ended up throwing all of them out. Then they had a bit where all the comedy people came out, and the Invisible Man was throwing them all out, and so on and so Brody Lee Jr. could not stop laughing and smiling during the match.
Terrible worker.
Someone should have shot at him, honestly.
I just thought it was so funny that like Joey and Megan were like trying to like act like they were bullying him, and he's just like grinning like, I love this shit. Snitsky kicking Santana Jackson's child, probably the highlight, where it's like that was Chekhov's gun. You knew that as soon as Santana Jackson brought out a baby, you knew something bad was going to happen to that doll. And then when Snitsky came out, I was just like, oh yeah, I know where this is going, and I love it. They also set up GCW versus Juggalo Championship Wrestling.
That can't be true.
I watched that. That's been going on. There's been stuff like that been going on. I'm pretty sure already.
I think they're doing a show. Like, I think they're doing a show about it.
Yeah, point. I watched JCW Lunacy thinking it was like live from Vegas. I don't believe it was. I think this show was in New Mexico.
Yeah,
but it had Miles Clark, Mr. 50s. You might know him as Drake Younger. Completely covered in silver paint and wearing like a pinstripe suit and a fedora. Going, yeah, see? See? I don't really know what he was going for. Totally.
Idea of the 1950s.
Okay, that's what he did. I don't want to tell you. That's what he did.
I know what I did. That's what he did. You didn't hear me do it. You didn't hear me do it one bit.
Doing a spot on impression of what he did. He put over cocaine. I got to give him that.
I'm pretty sure Drake Younger puts over cocaine every single day. If they had a wrestler named Crystal Meth, Drake would be literally trying to force that wrestler up his nostril.
Well, we already covered Spring Break, but did you guys watch the Senior Scramble?
Yeah.
I enjoyed how few of the original guys were in the match.
What? Explain that to me. What does that mean?
Like they announced 6 guys. They announced, I don't remember the 6 they announced, but 3 of them backed out for some reason. They weren't in the match, so they got replaced by Robert Gibson, who wasn't originally in the match, was in the match. I think Warlord was in it. He was out. I think Tommy Rich was in it.
Warlord
He
was
was
in.
out.
Warlord was in the clusterfuck, and he was moving kind of badly.
So maybe he's like, I can't do 2
Warlord?
matches.
Yeah, I mean, I think it might have been a, like, I'm not in ring shape to do much more than like a battle royal bit.
Doug Gilbert was supposed to be in it. He wasn't, and he's like the youngest guy that was in the match. And then they added Damien 666 and George South. Well, maybe George South was in it. I don't remember. But it ended up just being Damien 666, George South, Mike Jackson, Ricky Morton, and Robert Gibson against Kerry Morton. It became a 5-on-1 match. Robert Gibson never got in the ring, as far as I know.
No, he didn't even take his t-shirt off.
No.
He was just, I mean, half of them didn't take their t-shirts off, but he was just like, he was so obviously like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Mike Jackson, he did the old school walk the ropes.
And he fucking fell.
He fucking fell. And I got real scared. That was even scarier than the taboo stuff.
Hell yeah!
Because that guy's like 75.
But he fell, and then he like tried to like turn it into like an eat defeat.
Yeah, he did try to save it. That guy's a fucking worker. He's not like Brody Jr. But yeah, that match happened.
Stellar recommendation.
Yeah.
else
You guys
you
want to hear
think
about matches I actually liked from like the week?
Sure,
No.
Dan.
No, okay. I mean, whatever.
Well, actually, I should. Did anyone watch anything from WrestleMania?
I watched the main event. That's generous. The main event was on TV.
Yeah.
I don't know how
When
much
the
I
main
actually
event
looked
was
up.
on. When
Like
did
I
the main
put
event was
I put it on.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't really looking at the TV. Like I would look up
So
occasionally.
I watched Jade versus Naomi and Tiffany versus Charlotte, and it's night and day in terms of like Jade versus Naomi was supposed to be a storyline where like Naomi tried to murder Jade. She was like laying on that car with all the stage blood all over her, and they were like, "Oh, she broke all of her bones, and she ruptured her brain, and all these fake injuries to cover for her not being there for 4 months." And then, aside from Jade doing like a Kevin Nash worthy power bomb, where she just picked Jade up, nearly lost her, or picked Naomi up, nearly lost her, and then just like fucking planted her. Aside from that, it was a Naomi led match, and it was so tepid and bland, and you would be forgiven for thinking that there was no build up to this match at all. It was just a time filler. Meanwhile, Charlotte versus Tiffany, you could tell that, like, even though they were not on the same page and they were not getting along and they were really kind of laying it into one another, Charlotte knows how to like lead someone through a WrestleMania match. I wouldn't call it a great match, but it was so much more interesting to watch because they were so clearly like Charlotte was very clearly like, I'm gonna, push the line a bit, even in little things. Like she goes for a pin and she like just reaches over and just starts mashing Tiffany's face with her palm. So many little uncooperative touches that I was just like, this is what wrestling is all about. Two people who like do not get along, do not like each other, and can barely hide that fact while fake fighting. So that's my WrestleMania report.
It sounds like we need to get Charlotte at the next Bloodsport.
It sounds like we need to get Charlotte in the Carnage Cup.
Now we're talking.
Yes. Now we're cooking
Charlotte
with
Flair
gas.
versus who could we? I mean, Mickey Knuckles is the obvious one, but like trying to think of who still would take bookings from WADS. Like Charlotte versus like Chewy Martinez.
Okay, folks. What
Anyway, I interrupted your positivity section, Dan, with my WrestleMania recap.
I just wanted this to be about WrestleJoy, and I have all these matches I like, but it's fine.
No,
Galeno Del
go
Mal.
on.
Galeno Del Mal. You guys familiar with him?
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, boy.
One of the
Fucking-
top 25 under 25.
He fucking rules. Defy Wrestling did C4 and Negro Casas versus the Bollywood Boys and Galeno Del Mal. And I don't know, I just like seeing Galeno pair up with Negro Casas, who weighs, I gotta imagine Negro Casas weighs about 88 pounds right now. He's so skinny, so old.
He is. Yeah, he is a stick.
Yeah, he's
A
like,
wrinkly stick.
and he has not gotten a new leather jacket, by the way. He's still got the bigger leather jacket he used to need. He needs to just go down a few sizes. He was in that match, and then on what show was that on? Prestige did Arez, Hio Day, Wagner Jr., and Galeno Del Mal versus the Z-Brats in like a Lucha versus Dragon Gate match. And Galeno was like the best part of that match. That show had that match. It had Minoru Suzuki versus Adam Priest. I like that match. Yeah, I liked it a lot. I preferred the Tanaka match, but I'm like a Tanaka guy, so. It also had Sinner and Saint versus Lyco's Gym, and Lyco's Gym is not good.
No, they're not.
But like Sinner and Saint, I think, like, because even in there, they had a match, on Dragon Gate where it was them and Evan Rivers versus Ultimo Dragon, La Estrella, and El Kukui. And that match was awesome too. It's just like everything they do, they fucking fully commit. So it's like they're just bumping all over the place for just like shit offense from Lyco's Gym or from fucking El Kukui if he messes up. But like those guys fucking roll. Center Saint just roll is what the main point is. But both those matches are worth checking out just because they're in it. I don't know what else they had this weekend, but I probably would never go back and watch it. But they ruled. Basically, what I'm going to tell you from I watched way too much wrestling is that you're gonna be surprised. Lucha is just so much better than everything else because it's like, all of my matches are just like the CMLL guys, whatever little things they did. Hechicero versus Kevin Blackwood was awesome with a great finish, and that match was supposed to be Kevin Blackwood versus Shelton Benjamin, I think. And I'm a pretty high voter on Shelton Benjamin, and it's just like, what a fucking upgrade, though. You won tenfold by Shelton backing out, and you get Hechicero. And then they did on that. That's the Pandemonium Pro Wrestling show. They did Teton and Ben K versus Cavanario and Yamato, and that's just fun because normally you just get the Dragon Gate versus Dragon Gate, or like the other show where it's just all Dragon Gate versus all Lucha, or all Dragon Gate versus American, and like just mixing it up. Was a good time. And then you guys watch Bloodsport?
I didn't.
Watched
The card.
2 matches.
What 2 matches?
The card put me off.
Shinya Aoki versus Charlie Dempsey, and the better match, Karrion Kross versus JR Kratos.
That's such a crazy second match.
You
I guess
gotta
they took-
respect
they took-
JR Kratos, Dan. What are we doing here?
They took place back to back, right? So that's not that crazy.
Correct.
But no, I like that match because the whole fucking Discord and everyone was shitting on it. I was like, this match is fine. I don't know. It was way better than either of the first 2 matches.
There we go. That makes sense.
Fucking the best women's match on the show was Natty Neidhart's match.
All right. Well, that's not good. That's not ideal.
Yeah, everyone's fucking crying about WWE. Like they need Natty. That's why I said they got to bring in Charlotte. Apparently, these indie girls can't work Bloodsport. I like Charlie Dempsey versus Shinya Aoki. I don't want to be hot take, but hot take in this podcast more than Cross versus Kratos.
Whoa! What are you doing here, Dan?
I actually think
Yeah.
you're the only person I could say that to that would be shocked by that. But
Sorry that I have taste, okay? I don't know what's going on here.
what was
Well,
your
this
issues
is-
with Dempsey and Aoki? Was it the forearms?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
That's definitely part of it. That's definitely
get
part of it. It just feels like, hey guys, we're gonna transition from section to section here, and we're just gonna do a little close-handed magic, and then we're gonna go to the finish. You guys cool with that? And I was like, yeah, I guess. Sure, it's good. I like it. but it's just also feels like we can do better than this.
Did you watch Aoki Thatcher
No.
from DDT? That was better than Aoki
Well, Thatcher's
Dempsey,
a better
which, I mean,
wrestler. That makes
well,
sense.
yeah. People didn't like his Pete Dunne match. I thought that was good too. I thought it was weird the announcers were going on and on about like how Pete's not allowed to do the small joint manipulation when that's what he's going to do the whole match. So like, why do you keep telling me he's not allowed to do it?
He's like, he's doing it, guys. He's doing it. I tried watching it. I had a bail. I said, no, I think maybe this is actually all bad from here on out if I can't get into a Thatcher match.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you're not a big Pete Dunne guy. I mean,
Pete Dunne.
I thought the show was fine. I mean, it's Bloodsport. It's got the thing where like we've talked about before, where like they're all short. So like, I don't know. I didn't love Gabe Kidd versus Josh Barnett, but it was under 10 minutes.
Well, that's wrong. Josh Barnett needs 20+ minute main events for him and him alone. I think it's sickening that he didn't. Oh, sorry. I'm just realizing because I didn't actually watch Smack. Zach and Jonathan Gresham got that privilege.
Yeah, that was actually. Remember
event.
the other day, the last episode, I think it was, when I said I've watched 4 Gresham singles matches. That was worse than 3 of those. Maybe 4.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
That
good.
was way too long.
So what I'm hearing is that Bloodsport finally caught up to the main event of Beyond Wrestling American Rana 2016. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Jonathan Gresham.
I don't even think Barnett wanted those guys. He's just trying to book WWE guys. That's all he wants.
No, I mean, yeah, he does want that. He said, I forgot what the story with who wants what is.
He wants it so badly. Also, Brett's like, I've never been paid by WWE. It's like, you're a fucking idiot.
Why would you tell me
it for free?
Yeah, it's like, I thought I was fine with you doing it for money. I'll do almost anything for money. So, but like, you're just doing it for fun, I guess?
He's just doing it for the love of burying Lou Nixon.
The only other... I watched that Aja Kong, Senka match that everyone was talking about. I really wanted to shit on it to keep the gimmick going. It fucking rules.
Oh, damn.
That's one of the like 3 matches I want to watch from the weekend.
I was so ready to be like, I gotta find my angle here to like shit on this and be like a little misogynistic. Like, fucking flawless. Really, really good. I tried so hard. But the one show I need to talk about, I can't not talk about this, is Super X Lucha Mania 2.
Yes.
You remember we had a big issue with the card. What was going on with the card? I thought it was Juventud Guerrero and Super Crazy had both single matches against Gringo Loco and Jack Cartwheel. But Triller was saying it was a tag team match. What happened was Triller was spoiling the show opening angle.
Yep, they do that. Whatever happens, if you tell Triller the card ahead of time, they will just put it in the info section of things so you can accidentally spoil yourself. I found that out with
Yeah, I was
GCW.
confused last week where I was like, it says that a tag team match, but Hoovy an hour ago saying that there's 2 single matches. Like, no, a big brawl happens, they make it a tag team match. This might have been my favorite show of the weekend. Especially if you have to fast forward. There's a lot of fucking intermissions, but like total ring time, you're looking at probably 45 minutes. There's a 6-man tag, Mondo Avian and the Backseat Boys versus Demir, Morningstar, Jimmy Jack, and Phil Godfrey. This is somehow by far the longest match on the show. It's like 14 minutes. Fine, nothing great. But then from there on, it's just all fucking hits. You got X Macau versus Aztec King versus Norman Harris versus Vakiro Fantasma. Just a spot fest for 7 minutes. Then Archangel Divino and Ultimo Maldito do their shit that they do all the time in 8 minutes, like fat guy spots and slapping the shit out of each other. Ray Horace versus Laredo Kid for like 5 or 6 minutes, where Laredo Kid just plays like Rudo the whole time. He's just being a heel the whole time. It's great. And then you get the main event, which is like Hoovy and Super Crazy doing stupid shit and getting tired. And it's like, if you're just watching the matches, I mean, I'm probably being generous when I call it 40 minutes.
Yeah, I think
outside Nerd Bar.
It was like WCW Nitro match times.
I would say it's like they were in a hurry, but they clearly weren't, because I didn't watch it live, and I'm scrolling through. They weren't in a hurry though, because there's long wait times between each match.
My guess is that they weren't in a hurry until the long wait times happened, because I can only imagine what kind of chaos a Juventud Guerrera show in Las Vegas is backstage. So it's like, well, we planned out this 15-minute match, but now because we are starting, our time queue got blown for when we're starting. It's now a 6-minute match.
I will say this: Joe Dombrowski is, he does commentary fucking everywhere, like MLW, JCW. He gets around, and he also like has like a library of stuff he publishes. Like I believe he's like a homosexual man or queer man, and he's very woke and very polite and very awesome. I'm only bringing this up to say they put him in there with this guy TMD. Who, like, I know that for a fact that when Joe posts stuff from like 2003 indies, there's always trigger warnings about the commentary, because all the commentary is fucking awful from back then. But they put him against this guy who is just making like Hispanic jokes the whole time. There's a little person ref that he's making the lowest comment. It makes Blake 0561.
The lowest comments, really.
Oh my god! He would have jumped all of it. It made Blake 0561 look like very, very even keeled. If you're watching the show, you're gonna want to mute the commentary. Put it down.
What kind of stuff do you think he would be sharing all over your Facebook feed?
He wouldn't last long. I'd probably have to block him. And I mean, the Necro's still there. Drake would be if he'd accept mine. He's just hanging out there. Just hit accept, Drake. I need you.
Oh, Drake's busy. He's hanging out in the 1950s, painting himself silver. Fuck.
What about
But
you,
yeah,
Chris?
no,
Did you watch a single? Oh, you watched this one, Pat?
I did. That show was
nice.
great. I've watched Super X shows before. They're always fiascos. This one was no different.
Phenomenal promotion.
Like my main thing was like, is this show going to happen at all? Because I'm just kind of like, is Hoovy gonna like get arrested in Las Vegas for like getting drunk and like shoving someone in a casino? Like that's kind of where I was at, where I was just like, it's a miracle that the show happened. And every Super X show was like this. And then they put on a Fishman Mascara Sagrada match earlier this year. And Hoovy's brain is the sort of thing where it's like, okay, it's not enough to have Fishman versus Mascara Sagrada. First off, I have to do the commentary, and he doesn't know how to mix like an audio commentary track into the video, so they mute the match, and you don't hear any noise from the match while Hoovy talks over it. And then they added in computer graphics like explosions and shit. So like Fishman would punch Mascara Sagrada and there'd be like a fucking like lightning bolt coming out of it, shit like that. Like Hoovy's vision of what wrestling should be is what we need. We need someone this completely off the deep end. It's necessary for wrestling to continue, because if all we have are like people who are doing a good job and making professional content and playing it safe, if all we have are people who know how SEO works, it's no fun. We need the fucking complete demented freaks like Hoovy. And I believe that with all my heart.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. If you were about to ask if I watched anything from WrestleMania weekend,
I would say, did you watch any wrestling at all? Period.
Yeah, I watched Black Terry matches.
Oh, yeah.
I figured we were going to get to that later.
Oh yeah, you're too busy fighting the power.
I'm fighting the power, and I'm also for one more week in spreadsheet hell.
You're almost out.
I'm
How's it
almost
feel?
out. It feels really good. Really good.
We're what? We're up the top. We got 20 more to go.
We got 20 more to go.
Oh, 20 more to go. Okay.
So yeah, we'll Like, I think I watched like some random AEW shows that I haven't seen on Max yet, in my downtime, but I don't remember. Like, there were some good matches, but I don't remember like what they were. And they
Did you
were
watch
they
the
were
one
from
from
like 3
Boston?
months ago.
Okay, the one I was at, and then I was completely not surprised to see Dave Meltzer be like, Osprey Takeshita was the greatest American television match in history.
Oh yeah, Pat. How'd that go? Live report.
Oh, it was fun. It was fun. I really liked the MGM Music Hall venue. It's a great venue. The mezzanine seats were nice.
Yeah, your seats looked awesome.
Yeah, no, great seats. Anywhere off of the floor seemed to have like a perfect sight line, no matter where you sat. So I would definitely go back for another show there. The matches were fun. I think my favorite was Mercedes versus Athena. I don't think it's controversial to say that. Samoa Joe choking out Moxley. You love to see it. And yeah, no, a good time was had by all. It was really. I don't know if this was. I didn't watch the TV version. I don't know if this was on TV, but they brought out one of the Bruins players with the Stanley Cup, and the crowd booed him mercilessly. And I think the only time the crowd got louder was when Takeshita kicked out of the Hidden Blade at 1. I think that was the loudest I've ever personally heard a crowd around me. Like the place just exploded for that. But I gotta say, both Osprey and Takeshita do this now. They do the sell where like they get hit on the head and then they do, I forget what it's fucking called, but like that like seizure pose where like your arms tuck in. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like what is it, fencing posture or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fencing
what
pose.
and you gotta not do that during wrestling matches. Like it's just so it's not even like fun dumb. It's just dumb.
Yeah.
That's my note to the men who had the greatest television match in American history, and of the millennium or whatever the fuck Dave says it was. It
Did
was a
you end
five and
up
a half star match.
did you end up selling your Collision tickets?
No, I tried, but no one
Ugh.
bought them. So
Yeah.
I was just too tired to go to Collision. I got off work and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not driving into the city and spending all night sitting watching wrestling live. I'm going to bed at like 9:30 p.m. tonight.
Almost always the right
Fortunately,
choice.
Fortunately, the Collision tickets were not nearly as expensive as the Dynamite tickets. So, I lost money, but not the kind of money Sam's throwing away on weird Patreons.
For the last Blue Jackets game that I was going to, I had too many tickets and I was trying to sell them, and I put them on StubHub after putting them on Facebook all day. And then someone hits me up on Facebook, or someone buys 2 of them off StubHub, so there's one left. Someone hits me up on Facebook and they're like, "Oh, can I buy this?" And they offer me way too much money, and I go, "Fuck yeah!" And I should have been honest with them and be like, "Hey, you're paying too much money," because the universe always takes care of that kind of shit. And because I'm stupid and I send him the ticket before going to StubHub and taking the ticket off of StubHub. So once I send him the ticket, I hit send, somebody buys it on StubHub. And so now I have no ticket to send that person. And so StubHub makes me pay for whatever ticket they find. So I mean,
Oh,
even
man.
out that I was fine, like I didn't lose money or anything. Like, I mean, I lost a little money, but it wasn't like crazy or anything. But I was like, this is the universe saying you shouldn't have fucking took so much money from that poor kid.
Yeah.
But
No, I mean my issue was I should have put them up for sale earlier in the day. I ended up putting them up on StubHub like an hour before the doors opened.
that was my first time using StubHub, and I only did it because they're like through Ticketmaster, and you can sell it through Ticketmaster. But I guess Ticketmaster doesn't want you to like undercut how much they sell it for, so they really want you to charge a lot. They had me listed at
Right.
almost face value. And I was like, well, that's fucking stupid. The show starts in 3 hours, or the game starts in 3 hours. No one's gonna pay that.
Yeah, I had a lot. I mean, Ticketmaster for the first time ever made me download their stupid fucking app just to open my tickets to get in. So I'm walking through the Fenway area, and it was a windy day or a windy evening. It was cold, and I'm just like, you know, my hands are almost shivering from being out in the wind. Trying to download the Ticketmaster app, come up with a password, blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, why can't I just fucking open it on Ticketmaster.com like I could every other thing I've ever gone to?
Just to add to like the old man whining about technology, I don't like that too because it's like back to the Blue Jackets again. Like we sit at the club level, so like every time you go up the stairs or the escalator, you have to show your ticket, which is fine in the old days when you just have a paper ticket. But now it's like if my, sister or nephew run downstairs to go, somewhere at the arena, when they come back, if they don't have the app, they can't have it. Even if they have the app, I have to transfer it from my account to their account.
They don't like do like wristbands?
No. If you do like the very fancy like Diamond Sellers Club where you have the buffets and shit, they do wristbands. But if you're just at the club level, everyone up there, every time you go up an escalator, you have to show your ticket. And you're like, let me look through my phone. Luckily, the old guy, there's one old guy who usually remembers what I look like.
It's like, I think I know you. You're fine.
He's like, you're the guy that gets up and down, doesn't watch enough of the game. I'm like, yeah, that's me. But I think we should talk about. Oh god.
Can't believe you are just abusing the Blue Jackets like that.
They pissed me off. They didn't make the playoffs. I'm fucking done with them. Having said that, this year we had quarter season tickets, and it was a nightmare. We're not like it was great, but it's just we're 2 hours away from Columbus. That was a crazy plan. We're not doing that again. We'll just buy them as they come along. But I wanted to ask Chris you something. You posted the 30 to 21. Is this a quote from Timothy Thatcher? Did you reach out to him?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Because I was looking at your featured image here, this heading image, and I was like, oh, it looks like a quote.
Yeah, he said that. He said that for real.
So this will be finished up Friday?
Yes. That's
crazy.
What a journey this has been.
People in Discord are way smarter than me. They're like, oh, I've already figured out the last 20. I was like, I'm so dumb. It's fun though, because I'm shocked every time.
Oh wow! Congratulations that you figured out that like fucking Bryan Danielson is going to be in the top 10. Congratulations for
I wouldn't bet
that
on that.
Darby Allin, that like Darby Allin and whoever the fuck else, I don't know. All the high level AEW guys that we all love. All the most popular wrestlers.
Well, what about Claudio getting 21 and Sam talking about how fucking great he is?
You're playing in my hand, Dan. You're playing into my hand.
No, he is uncool. You were right.
Oh I don't know. God.
I don't know. I can't tell you exactly when, but he is uncool. He's a great wrestler. I get it.
You're uncool. So embarrassing. Oh.
Man. Do you think he was the 21 best wrestler last year? The 21st best wrestler last year? Like, that's crazy.
Dan, this is a great question. Let me consult the numbers. Because you know what? This is all a numbers game. What are we doing if we're not looking at spreadsheets and saying, yeah, he was. Oh, misspelled Claudio. Put it. This 68th best wrestler, according to me.
That's very funny because I gave you all that shit. I have him 43rd.
Oh my god. Come on, Dan. Come on.
Sorry.
Anyway, Fuminara Abe should not be this high, but what are you gonna do?
Well, I was gonna say, what do you think of Mascara Dorada being the 28th best wrestler on the planet?
I had him at 16.
Oh, so people are so fucking stupid.
I had Abe at, let me double check, didn't have him.
People like keys jingling. I don't know what to tell you. It's just like the most marvelous thing to him. What are you gonna do?
I disagree with what you're saying, but I hate that we're having this conversation about him after he did that spot that you're right was really fucking stupid. Well, I'm gonna kick him up, and then it's gonna take. Do people post that GIF? They don't. Do they not see that? Like, it takes 14 seconds for him to like stabilize. I'm like, why is this impressive?
And then he just does an arm track. I'm like, yeah, oh, man. Like, there's no sick bump at the end of this. This is just all. I don't know.
No, I know this is unfair because that's not how the ranking should work. If that GIF came out like the week I was sitting in my rankings, he would have dropped at least 10 spots.
Damn. Good to know. Good to know. Numbers. You gotta love them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Those are our numbers. Thank you. Thank you, Sam.
Yep. They're
There are
coming
a lot
up.
more where those
Friday.
come from.
You'll see them.
I feel
Those
like
are
most
all
people
numbers.
listening to this most people don't listen to it right when it comes out. So you probably by the time you're listening to this, you can go ahead and see 20 and 11.
Yeah.
Is it real?
I mean, and you can also just, if you're listening to this the night of, you can just go back and revisit the, like the 600s and stuff like that. Start, reminiscing about all the fond memories of when those went up 2 weeks ago.
I will say Chris doesn't have it in the back end yet, but sometimes I like to get a little sneak peek. I feel like a real insider. I'm like, oh, these idiots have no idea for like hours. But Chris keeps that shit close to the vest. He's not just throwing around these results.
No, sir. No, sir.
Speaking of stuff that was up on the site, you did a pretty nice Black Terry piece, Dan.
Oh, thank you.
Black
I believe
Terry
you called him a
Which we-
beautiful, violent thing, which kind of disrespectful. He was a man, but
yeah.
I
I just talk about women that way.
Damn, I was about to say that.
but-
Shit.
I do love that in the photo you used. Like it told me how warped my brain is that I associate like the heavy elbow pad and the black singlet and stuff. Like I'm looking at him like that's Vince McMahon. That's like Latin Vince McMahon in that picture.
And you know what? Here's the thing: Black Terry versus Vince McMahon would have fucking ruled so hard.
Oh my
I'm sorry,
God.
guys.
That would have been a boxing match. Like that would have been billed as a street fight, and it just would have been the two of them legit punching each other in the eye socket.
I
Vince
talk about it.
because he doesn't know any better, and Black Terry because he knows exactly what he wants to do.
I talk about it in the piece, but I know it's crazy because he's he wasn't a young man, but like it never 72 years old. It never dawned on me Black Terry was gonna die. Like it's not a thing that I was like braced for at all.
No. If one person was not going to die, it was Black Terry.
Like I think I mentioned at least twice. Like he was going to Japan next month. Like he had a special. His son made a special T-shirt like a month or two ago because he was gonna wrestle in Japan. And like I was pumped for it.
I always kind of pegged him as being like the Dory Funk or Nishimura type, where like he would either be like 85 years old and still showing up for matches, or he would have some debilitating illness and still show up for matches. Like he would be the guy with like pancreatic cancer who is still, fucking punching one of the traumas in the head. So yeah, no, him just passing away out of nowhere. I was not prepared for that at all.
And then I feel like almost when I like describe it, like almost like feels degrading to the people I've written about that have passed away for the site already. But like this felt so much. I think I said daunting on Twitter. Was just like, oh man, like this is fucking Black Terry. Like I don't know how to even describe what he does. Like I mean he's just so fucking good. When I was posting the matches at the end, I just was just like trying to find matches that were on YouTube so I could easily link to them. And I was like, these are all from 2017, basically, where this guy is fucking the man. Like he was already an old man and he was probably the best wrestler in the world.
I do appreciate how you do say all these matches from 2017 and the second match is from 2021.
Oh, that's funny. Well,
I
asked people that I asked the guy who pays for the site to read my piece before it went up. He said, "I'm sure it's good. Post it whenever you want."
I'm sure it's good. And honestly, better this way. I can't make fun of you if I actually read it ahead of time.
That's very funny. Well, now I'm fucking pissed. I'm deleting it from the site.
No, don't delete it.
No, I'm not. Maybe I had a different match picked out, but I don't think I did. That Condor match is from 21. You're right. What are you gonna do?
You see it right there.
I wrote it
See
down.
right there.
I wrote the date on
21.
it too. That's what's funny. It's not like I didn't know it. Fuck.
Oh my god.
This was
Yeah,
absolutely
time-
the right venue to correct Dan on it too.
Yeah, it's like burying the correction in next week's newspaper and the last page. No one's gonna hear this. You're in the clear, Dan. What else?
You guys hear about AAA?
Yeah, the best promotion in the world.
Yeah. Especially
Good
now
stuff.
that they're going to be on the same level as NXT. They're ascending to the lofty heights of being Mexican NXT. That is, it's just such a deranged situation. Like, I cannot imagine it ending well for anyone. It feels like WWE just like impulse buying the closest competitor to CMLL they can find, just to spite AEW, and buying a house with like, you know, a septic tank that is continuously exploding.
Now you said you can't imagine it ending well for anyone. I think it's nothing but a win for Del Rio.
I don't know.
He weaseled his way back in.
I don't know. You know, there's still time for him to. Like I said, the perfect way to start the AEW NXT, pay-per-view, whatever it is, would be to have like, I think Cubs fans said Jeremy Borash is like the new WWE guy who they're sending, but having him like do like the Jeff Jarrett thing where Vince fired Jeff Jarrett on the air after he bought WCW. I would not put that past them.
I love the idea to be like, here we go, Jeremy Borash, the Vince Russo disciple. He'll get Conan in check.
I mean, maybe they just went like, who's worked with Conan before? Because I mean, Borash used to be Mr. TNA. But yeah, this is a wild fucking situation. I know it's not going to affect things for like I know that all the AAA TV that's going to come out in the next couple weeks has probably been in the can for a while now. But I am just watching like I need to catch up, and now I'm like I need to stay up on AAA just to watch this car go over the cliff.
Lucha Blog talks about it, but it's so weird because they just AAA just does the business so much different than WWE that's like I don't understand
Yeah.
how it'll work at all. They say they have 13 guys under contract, and I'm just like, it's gonna be I'm sure the list of 13 guys is fucking wild.
I mean, he said that Pagano was one, which honestly shocked me. Alberto, Vikingo, the guys who won the contest at the start of this year, I forget who it was. I think it was Puma de Oro and Radioactivo, maybe.
El Hijo to Dr. Wagner Jr. obviously, but they made such a big deal about signing
Yeah.
him.
Not
I mean, they made a
Puma
big
de
deal
Oro,
about
really?
signing.
That's
AAA did a contest at the start of the year where it's like the winners will get a 1-year contract with AAA. And I think he was one of them. It was him, Radioactivo, and Andy Panda Jr. And it was like, wow, shockingly, 3 friends of Abismo Negro Jr. all got, all won the contest that he was judging.
that's a damn shame. What about IWRG? What about Puma de Oro there? Come on.
Are you sure? Are you sure it wasn't? Is it? Oh man, I don't know. Because Puma doesn't even like wrestled for AAA this year, really.
He's been in like a couple TV matches.
Oh.
But I mean, they barely even last year. one of the winners was like a 16-year-old girl who like was on TV once and then was never seen again. So I mean, we can't begin from a position where we think AAA has any idea what it's doing. That's just folly. They're
They
just
should have bought.
doing.
They should have bought IWRG.
Oh my God, WWE like in arena neck open and just like upping the production value, like it would making it look professional. It wouldn't look like the same thing at all. It would be like one of those things where like a body snatcher replaces someone. But yeah, I'm sure that WWE would love Hip Hop Man and Shako and Ivan Rokov and the Pigs. And who else is in IWR? Hellboy.
You got the man on the call who's gonna tell you who's in IWRG.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luca, Lukey.
Are you guys familiar with the Rhinos?
Yes.
So much worse than the Pigs.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
I mean,
That's saying something.
yeah.
They're the shitty pigs.
And the Pigs
Yeah,
are
it's
not
like the
great.
Pigs are already like they come across as like barely trained. But it's like the Pigs are like four John Zandigs versus, I don't even know who would be like the shitty versus four Judge Joe Dreads.
They do wrestle like if you force Judge Joe Dredd to put on a rhino mask. So he's not really ready for the mask. He doesn't really know what's going on. And he's not great when he doesn't have the mask. It's a fucking mess.
I just, what animals do you think they should, bust it? Like another team of fat guys being like, all right, well, we're gonna be like the gorillas. They need to have like a whole like. My dream is that they do some sort of like stable warfare thing where it's like four different animal themed factions.
I mean, you already got the pigs and the rhinos. Just bring in the panthers and the fucking Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, but okay, the Ninja Turtles probably have the silly masks. Like the Panthers don't look
Yeah,
goofy.
you're wanting rhino, pig, goofy mask level guys. I get you. Okay.
Yeah,
Feels like you could do lions. Lions would be a good one
actually, Lions would be a good one.
because then you could have like before they lose their mask, they could shave the mane.
They've all got like
That's
Scotty
silly.
Too Hottie hair poking out of their mask.
Oh man. Do you guys think that did it for the big top?
I mean, like the big top this week is that we are overwhelmed by all the crazy shit. I mean, even just before we recorded this, Mongo McMichael passed away. Like wrestling went from being kind of boring at the start of the month to completely too much happening all at once within the past 5 days.
Did we talk about the announcing Dean 2 and 3?
We didn't.
No.
Holy shit. Holy
No,
shit.
no, that's
Shit keeps happening, folks. Things keep happening.
so.
Man.
We decided that we are co-opting Dean 3 for the first ever Violent People Con.
I have already requested press credentials for all four of us.
And have we set up the meet and greet for to charge the Discord piggies?
I think we're still locking down locations.
We're gonna set up a table. And I'm just gonna have a shitload of mugs there.
We're just gonna be in the corner of a Dave and Buster's.
I won't even look you in the fucking eye till you buy a mug. So don't even look at me.
But no, yeah, Dean 2, free show, outdoors, Arizona,
In like a fucking month.
in a month, which is ridiculous. I'm like, what are we doing here? That I think is going to rely more on the action part of the Dean equation, in the sense that like Matt Action knows how to do this type of show. logistically pretty good. So excited to see how that turns out. We're not going to Arizona. So that'll be interesting to see kind of what kind of crowd they pull in, because I don't know who the sickos and the freaks are in that part of the country who are gonna make that trek.
But I feel like, I don't know. I guess that's not how most fans think, but I'm like, you're at AEW Double or Nothing. There's a free show outside. Like, just fucking go to the free show. I don't know.
Oh, sure. I just mean, like, what's the type of person that it's going to attract?
Oh, that's fair.
And
how
versus, like,
confused will they be?
Yeah, the type of show that the first Dean was, I don't think Dean 2 will be necessarily.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm dead wrong.
I'm excited for the further Dean shows, but hearing that they're co-promoted with AEW did make me think, like, oh, is this gonna be like, is this gonna dilute the thing? Is there going to be like, is going to come across like AEW doing a minor league show versus Action and the Death Valley Playboys doing a heartfelt tribute show?
I'm gonna tell you honestly, I love Dean. I love the first show. I love the Sukunik Kaida guys. If Tony Khan comes down there and dresses down Phil and Eric, but I get to see Danielson versus Makabe, fuck it, I'm worth it. Let's do it.
You're worth it. Oh yeah, I've already discussed with my wife. Right?
Phil.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, I don't care if they say this is AEW fucking this. He's like this is ROH Junior. If he dresses down the show and degrades it, but I get to see Danielson and Makabe, I don't care how I get there. I don't care how we get to that point. But that match is happening at Dean 3. I can announce it here.
Jesus Christ!
Thank you. Thank you.
They all thought this was the place to do it.
That'd be so funny.
Yeah, they didn't announce it on the podcast that Tony was on.
Well, he said it wasn't fair because I wasn't there. He's like, Dan, you need to be part of this. Danielson, Daniel, Dan. Go ahead and announce it. He's like, wait about 90 minutes in when you guys forget to talk about my shows.
Daniel Makabe on record has listened to this show.
He 100% knows it exists.
I should have kept that in last week. I thought better of it, but I should have thought worse. But yeah, thanks for making that announcement, Dan. I'm sure everyone's going to appreciate that. Buy your tickets today. They're on sale.
They're not. Buy them, sure.
ROHshop.com. You can get those today. I'm going to Philadelphia. I feel that's just going to have to be a thing. Dan, you've said you're going. Absolutely no questions asked.
No, I mean, I'm as sure as going that match is happening.
So pretty sure, 100%. Dan. That's pretty sure.
Pretty fucking sure of what I'm saying. Are you saying I sent that email to press@aew.com for no reason, Sam?
I can't tell you your decision making. If that's good or bad.
Who from AEW do you think we can get fired for having them appear on an episode of VPR?
Ideally,
who would be foolish enough?
That'd be really fun if we could somehow make like the Danielson Makabe match not happen, like it falls apart last minute. Because
it's part of the last minute, it's like Daniel Makabe has to face Wheeler Yuta.
It's like Danielson heard all the things they said on that show.
Danielson, we love you.
Look at every poll we've ever ran. Clearly.
Yeah. And how much we've bitched about it every time.
Well, no one's got to listen.
That's you know what? Like, it's so funny, Pat being like, "There's just too much stuff happening. Like, you can't even keep up with it all." I was like, "Holy fuck!" The announcement I'm most excited for in a long time, we forgot to even bring up.
Yeah, especially after all the joy and positivity we've discussed going from WrestleMania weekend, to be like,
Amity People Radio.
There is something to look forward to in professional wrestling.
I probably should ask for 6 credentials because of Joy and Andy. Her name's not Joy. Shit.
That'd be funny if they called the website WrestleJoy and her name's Joy. I would love that. That'd be
really
sick.
good.
That'd be sick. We already got people saying they're gonna go. I mean, they're all children that say they're gonna go, so
Yeah,
also
I don't-
probably not.
If we gotta
So-
wait till Ducky's dad weighs in, I think.
It's like a bunch
Pat,
of
how far-
18-year-olds saying, I'm going.
How far of a drive it is? Yeah, I thought that when I shared a ridiculous Airbnb, and Andy's like, split 10 ways, that's not bad. And I was like, none of the people saying they're going make more than $10 an hour. Respectfully, guys. Pat, how far a drive is that for you?
I am looking up the exact to the 2300 arena from my house is a 5-hour, 28-minute drive.
And what's your address again?
Oh, that is 123 Fake Street,
Okay,
Boston,
all right.
Massachusetts.
That's good.
Coward.
Yeah. Man, I wish it was that close. That's like, I don't know why, but like 6 hours is the line.
I feel like I would either take the train or fly. Just to-
Mm.
Oh, it's only
I don't
4
know.
hours and 18 minutes away. So
Boom.
lickety split, folks. Lickety split.
Usually the furthest I'm willing to drive is like New York City, which is like 4 hours.
In New York.
I mean, I drove the 4 hours to see the AAA show in New York City that they tried to run at Madison Square Garden and then had to downgrade. And then because it was during the first Trump administration, like half of their roster didn't get visas in time.
That's the company that WWE just bought.
That's the company that booked Madison Square Garden, made a huge deal about it,
Well,
and
now-
then sold so few tickets that they had to downgrade to the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden.
Well, now they've gotten in with Trump, so
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this.
Hmm.
And if you don't, someone from WWE will tell you.
Well, yeah. Now we don't have to worry about will Nino Hamburguesa be able to make the New York booking.
I love people on Twitter be like, "What a PR nightmare!" It's like they love it. They're not getting tricked into talking about it. So here's the thing: Ring of Honor's on the 5th, a Friday. So you think they're gonna do Dean on Saturday? That seems a
I
little
think they're
weird,
going to
right?
do the shows at the same time.
That's gonna be rough. I'll talk to Tony
What if
about
one's
that.
like at 2 in?
They're
And-
gonna put up a big curtain in the middle of the 2300 arena, and on one side it's going to be Death Before Dishonor, and on the other side it's
Well,
going to be Dean.
I've actually thought of this before. Has anyone ever done this? Because like amateur wrestling does it, and like BJJ does it, where like there'll be like 3 mats, and there'll be different stuff going on.
I believe you're
Like, they're-
thinking of the World War III match from WCW.
But like, no, I think sometimes like most wrestling sucks. It's like, go ahead, and put 3 matches on at once. I'll decide what I want to watch.
The ECW Double Jeopardy match. I can't remember which pay-per-view it was. It was one of the bad ones. But
I
it
want them
had-
to have nothing to do with each other though. Like it's just 3
The
separate
3 matches are operating independently. It is
Yeah.
not 3 rings or anything like that.
Well, no, that was the premise of the Double Jeopardy match was it was 4 guys in the ring having 2 singles matches with 2 referees, and then the winner of each singles match would then face off. And it was a fucking nightmare, and it sucked dick.
Okay. Hell yeah.
It was like it was one of those things where it's like, oh, like in like being an ECW fan in like 1999, 2000, it's like, oh, Paul Heyman seems to have lost his mind.
Didn't quite stick
Between
the
that,
landing on
like-
that one, sounds like.
Yeah, between that and like I think Just Incredible might have won that match. So it was like the era of like Just Incredible world champion. It's just kind of like, maybe I'll just, maybe Nitro's not so bad after all.
Did anyone watch the Maven's video with Justin Incredible? Basically,
I watched.
Justin Incredible's been like accused of like stealing from fans, promoters, no showing, being just like an awful human. And the video is like 20 minutes of Maven just like sitting there listening to Justin explain why it's not his fault, and there's explanations for everything, and Maven going, okay, oh yeah, I've been there too, oh yeah, like supporting him, and then the last minute it cuts to like Maven on the couch being like, since this interview, I've been informed that maybe Justin is scamming people.
Well, no, it's like you say, like
Yeah!
he's explaining everything. He's not even like he's just talking in circles and be like, you got to remember, like these fans, they feel so entitled. They think they own a piece of us.
They
Like,
think that if you buy a T-shirt, you get a T-shirt.
right? Yeah,
These
but
sons
it's like
of
the way he
bitches.
says. Yeah, he talks about it like these guys are just like they want a piece of my soul. That it's like I got to have something for myself. And it's like, all right, well, that sure makes sense in the context of why you didn't send them a signed 8x10, but okay.
He sounds like me when I was like 15 on the bad traders list on Crazy Max, because he's like, yeah, I got sent the money, but then I bought food. So now where's the money? Like, he's like baffled by it. He's like, there's no more money to send the stuff I said I sent. That happened to me when I was 15. I'd be like, oh, I'll send you all that. And then I'd be like, oh shit. Postage costs money. But instead he's 50.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't even like there wasn't even funny stuff to it, like with the Perry Saturn interview where Perry Saturn just starts burying Bam Bam Bigelow. Like this was
just like 20 minutes of Justin being like, fans are marks. I didn't do anything wrong. And Maven's going, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it was just one of those things where it's like, I just kind of feel bad. Like, I don't feel bad for him in the sense that he's like ripping people off, but I just feel bad for him in the sense that like this is his life. And once upon a time, he was Aldo Montoya, and now. Hey, yeah, Maven was announced for the clusterfuck, and he didn't appear.
Oh shit!
Did he? Joey?
I feel like I saw him post that he was in Vegas too.
Do you think he scammed Joey Janela?
He's like, Justin, you're onto something.
Because I mean, I'm looking at the list of the. He was definitely on like the Triller thing where they announced like who's going to be in the clusterfuck, but no, he didn't turn up. You would think he would reenact his Undertaker spot from 23 years ago, but.
All right,
anyway, back on topic. Mad Dog versus anyone on the AEW roster. It'll be good.
That's funny. I was going to ask, who is the worst person from the AEW roster that we're going to be forced to put on Dean show? Oh, you really think?
No, I don't think it's going to be. I thought you just said who we're getting at, who is the worst.
No. Adam Cole is probably the worst, but like, who is the worst that like they realistically might be on Dean or will have to put up with?
You know what? I'll stick with that. That sounds like a good one. Adam Cole is probably the one.
Here's my terrified answer. Chris Jericho.
You would think that there would be some sort of editorial control over like these are wrestlers that Dean and DVDVR liked. So I'm trying to remember who's in Ring of Honor.
So is Tony.
Yeah.
Got his ass.
Sorry. Fucking owned.
After he gave me that announcement, shit.
The one that would make me go like, oh my god, what are they doing? It would be like Mad Dog versus John Morrison.
Okay, low key, that'd still be all right.
No, that
Mad Dog versus Low Key would be amazing.
You know what? I think people shit on John Morrison. He's good, folks. He's good. Hot takes here.
He's fine,
still good in the year 2025.
But for the kind of match that Mad Dog Connolly would put out, I just see it being a bad Styles clash as opposed to.
I could see that match happening in AAA, baby.
Oh yeah, absolutely, it would.
Let's fantasy book it. Who do you put across the chain from Mad Dog then, and from AEW?
Kingston.
See, I think that's the easy answer. I'm going Double J.
Oh,
all right.
Well,
if Jared's going over too, baby.
if we're just getting crazy with it, then we'll go back to my idea from the other week of you have to have a huge guy in a dog collar and Satnam. Mad Dog Connolly versus Satnam Singh and all of the Planet Jared entourage.
Oh shit! Dustin's in ROH. Put him on, Dean.
Oh man.
Well, obviously, I think that's a guarantee.
Yeah,
I didn't
Yeah,
even think about it. I didn't think about
Phil
it.
and
till right now.
Eric
Actually,
Yeah, I
actually,
didn't
having
think about
access
it.
to
Whoa.
WW or having access to AEW, like if Dustin's not on one of those shows, like what the fuck are we doing?
so that does make me realize what the actual answer for worst potential Mad Dog opponent would be, and that's Sammy Guevara.
There we go.
Okay, fair enough.
Sammy does bump his ass off in a gimmick match, so that'd still be pretty fun, I think.
Let's say this though: Mad Dog Damus versus Dustin and Sammy in a double dog collar match.
Sure,
All right, now
why
we're
not?
There we go.
I want Davis
long as
versus
Damus
Willow.
as long as Damus and Sammy are the ones connected, there is, and because that is a guaranteed way to make sure that Sammy is on the shelf again with a concussion, and I am all for it.
Anyway, I just think it's going to be a great show.
I think Damus versus
trust
Willow
him.
would be Damus versus Willow would be like a speaking out match and not in a good way.
It would be special. I think it would be special.
It would be an assault.
I think, you know what? Davis can turn it on, turn it off. You know, he doesn't have to go crazy. Or truly hellacious levels.
I don't know, man. I don't know if he'd be able.
He's
to
out there
control-
working for the Midget World Order, so I don't know.
That's not what
He
that's
ain't,
called.
he ain't busting. He ain't busting ass there, you know. He ain't making them bleed buckets,
I
which
don't
would
think
be
I don't
funny.
think you can say that word if you're getting the name of the promotion so severely wrong.
Whoa! I'm 5'3". It's all right, folks. It's all right.
Shit!
You are
He's
You
got
are
the
getting
M word
that.
card.
So, do you think we can get like Lady Frost as like a VPR guest? If we get those,
I think she has me
credentials?
blocked on Twitter.
Yeah, because I was gonna say,
That's a good sign.
was it? Because wasn't it someone here who like got into it with like Victor Benjamin or something?
Oh no, actually, I have a completely different Lady Frost story where she was nice to me in person, and Victor tried to pretend that he wasn't Victor Benjamin at the
Yeah,
Arnold.
that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's the
why I was
story.
like, we
But I
got to get her on VPR so we can just like do the Maven style confronting.
Well, I forgot until recently she had me blocked because I think because one time I'm the asshole here. She's going back and forth with someone on Twitter about how she doesn't release her age and she doesn't want anyone like it's not a big deal. You shouldn't worry about her age. And so I just replied with her birth date. And
That's an insane thing to do. Dan, what the fuck? Why would you do that?
I'd be so fucking weird about your birthday. Also, no
Dan,
young
that's a
person.
little weird.
Hey, Lady Frost, no young person's weird about their birthday. I'm seeing how I want you to know I'm 24. She's
All right.
She's going back and forth with someone about like I'm not going to sell you pictures of my feet, and Dan just barges in with like, here are these photos I found online for free.
Holy shit. ROHshop.com. Buy your tickets to Dean 2 and 3 today.
Hey, you gotta come out to 3. Danielson Makabe.
Oh man. It's time for shit. Fuck. Okay. 1 second. Sorry. Yep. Q&A hour, baby. It's time to get into it. Not a lot of questions this week. I put a call for questions at 12:59 p.m. and 0 people replied. Luckily, I had done this previously, so we have something to bring to the table. If I can scroll up enough and see where
Are you even
happened.
asking all that?
Okay. Pork, do you think they should make another Spy Kids film? Bonus points if you know how many they've made thus far.
I want to say 5.
I'm gonna say 4.
I'm gonna say I don't know, but I almost watched. What's that guy on YouTube, Eddie Burback? I almost watched his Spy Kids video that came out recently, but I fell asleep.
So it's a kind of
like
a
the answer
trick
is 5.
question. There is 4 in the original canon, and then a reimagining in 2023. So
So
do with that
here's
what you
the
will.
thing. They should make another Spy Kids movie. They'll recast everyone, keep them still kids. And it's going to turn out halfway through that the Spy Kids organization has been infiltrated. And they are trying to find the mole. They're trying to find out who from the deep state has made their way into the Spy Kids. And it turns out it's Agent Cody Banks.
Wow.
Wow.
Now,
Mhm.
why are we calling it a reimagining?
Because Wikipedia called it a reimagining. So,
Well,
Well, I'm looking at
they
they call it a sequel on the page I'm on.
well, I'm
It
on
is
the
a sequel.
original Spy Kids film.
I'm on Spy Kids: Armageddon.
See
It's
that?
a
See,
sequel.
if you look at
Spy
that,
Kids.
that's what I see. I see where we got fucked up here. Anyway,
And they only recast one character. The rest are all new
Really?
characters. I'm calling it the sequel. But also, I need you to know that you skipped the question. Because Jade asked on 419.
well,
Question
that's
for
the
next
count.
week.
You gotta wait for me to ask her question. You can't just fucking.
What is
say,
your favorite?
Hey, here's a question.
What is your favorite ridiculous wrestling theme song lyric? Has to be an original theme song, obviously. Billy Kidman's entire theme song is a banned answer because that's too obvious. It's funny I asked this question that I don't like and I don't have an answer for.
All right, Dan, come on, get your own gimmick.
I don't
Get
wanna
your
steal
own
your gimmick.
gimmick.
I don't listen to theme songs. Like the only answer I have is Matt Hardy version 1. I don't know what other theme songs are.
If
Like
they
well,
want
if the big show seems fine.
if they want to talk to you, you better not listen. You may wind up in critical condition. American males.
I'm gonna say if you look up the lyrics to Test's song, "This Is a Test," it reads like someone trying to mumble through a head injury.
See, this is crazy because in my mind his theme song is test, test, test.
Yeah,
test.
it's just the word test.
And you're telling me
But
now that's not true.
There are verses to it. You're thinking of the
Holy
intro.
shit!
I am thinking of the intro. This is
Um,
crazy.
Yeah, the song did last more than 5 seconds. But I do want to point out that for around 25 years, there's a line in Xbox version of the DX theme song where it says like, "I'm not the one to try your luck with." And I thought for like 25 years that they were saying something along the lines of, "I'm not the one you want to fuck with." And in like 1999, I'm like playing WWF Attitude on the PlayStation, and I'm just like, "Whoa, they didn't censor that?"
This game's rated T?
Yeah, no, it's like, and I would hear it in like, when he would come out on TV. I'm just like, how did WWF allow X-Pac to have the F word in his theme music? That's insane. And then it turns out I just completely misheard the line.
I saw a guy on TikTok recently, just like a couple days ago, where it seems like he just discovered Spanx exists because he's like, I found out the lyrics to La Bamba weren't La 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 Bamba.
So you discover that they're racists on TikTok.
Are we ready to move on to the next effing question?
It's from some guy named Tim.
All right. Sorry, I unfortunately did scroll away for some
Also,
reason.
I
All
do
right.
want to point out from Test's music, I didn't say the key part of that. One of the lines is "Freaking for a jack off, you can go."
Oh,
Fucking knock on wood, guys. Knock on wood. From Tim, do you think Brandon, parentheses, at FenderDean13, could take Jonathan Snowden, confirmed bitch, in a fight?
Well, I mean, if
Yeah.
Jonathan Snowden's a confirmed bitch, he's you know,
Exactly.
good.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've
You
had a
can't
beer
argue
in the
with
parking
confirmed
lot with
status.
Brandon. I've never had a beer in the parking lot with Jonathan Snowden. So there's my answer.
I don't want to be contrary, but does Brandon have long hair? He can't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pick a guy with long
Yes.
hair to win a fight. I'm not
Yes.
going to pick a guy with long hair to win a fight. Not doing it.
That's come on. All right. Yes, and just in case I did not answer, Brandon would in fact win that fight. He is a massive individual.
I
he's-
think he's literally twice Snowden size.
Oh yeah. When I've stared next to it's my goodness.
I mean,
Ducky
Sam,
has
Sam, to be fair, you standing next to anyone.
all right, okay. Let's hey, we're all having fun here, folks. All having fun here. Did anyone ask us about Kanye's new song, Pat?
No, but I actually didn't someone did ask, replied to that and asked something about it. So we'll get to that when we get to that.
Oh, okay. All right, Nick Yeoman. If after they are done with the Dangerous Alliance, the next WCW stable WWE bring back is the West Texas Rednecks, who should be in the group? First up, they're bringing back the Dangerous Alliance?
No.
All right. Well, then this question is faulty. Don't care about it.
I mean, it's just Paul Heyman's with Seth and Braun.
Oh.
And people are like calling it Evolution or Dangerous Alliance, where it's just like, it's just a shitty stable.
Incredible. What are we doing here, folks? What are we doing here? I think
So
it's
I'm gonna
bananas.
say-
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Bo Dallas has to be in because he's the Wyndham connection. Bo Dallas, probably some of the fucking Chase U dorks. I don't know. R-Truth absolutely needs to be in.
Yeah, he's
And,
taking Virgil's place.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who the Kurt Hennig of the group would like. Who's like the guy from Minnesota claimed to be a West Texas redneck. Let me say Braun Breaker.
I love. Okay. All right.
The stable is Braun Breaker, Bo Dallas, and R-Truth as the West Texas Rednecks. And Maxine Dupree. Add her too.
Okay. I knew you were missing something there. That's the one. All right. Next question. Pork, in response
shit.
to the ask us about Kanye's new song, which wrestler do you think is the most likely to have sucked their cousin's dick? Now, Pat, what?
So Kanye went on Twitter, posted a snippet of a absolutely hot garbage song that he made, and along with the song, posted a story of how when he and his cousin, his male cousin, were children, they found dirty magazines and reenacted the acts in those dirty magazines. This song thus contains the chorus of "I gave my cousin head" sung repeatedly. So the question is, which wrestler would record a terrible song about giving their cousin head?
Well, I think the question
And
is
I'm
just who gave
Al
their cousin
Snow.
head.
Al Snow gave his
I was
cousin
gonna
head.
say, I was gonna say Jake the Snake Roberts.
See, I'm coming about this from a different angle. I'm going to say someone from the bloodline. Just statistically, there's so many cousins. It ups your chances because there's so many more cousin dick.
The problem is that they're all going to kill you for saying
Okay, I'm going to specifically say it was Jacob, Fatu, or Zilla.
That seems about right. All right, moving on. Next question. Cole, when is VP gonna buy all the lesser websites like Wrestle In and Wrestle Joy? I will say this is the first I have heard of Wrestle In.
I was
Yeah,
wondering
what
if that
the
was like
fuck
a
is that?
hotel themed website. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, spelled with two N's. So, yep, pulling it up.
Okay, well, they
here we
haven't
go.
posted since February. The last thing they posted was about Nathan Cruz.
What are we doing here? Why is Cole? Come on, you're better than this. You're better than this.
I'm gonna say it would be awesome if we could buy WrestleJoy just to immediately shut it down.
That'd bring
Now,
me joy.
is WrestleJoy, is that still a
Is
thing?
is that still happening?
I don't know or care. I just want to do something that hurts the Nemetes.
Shit.
Yeah, is Amy Nemedy still like at every like AEW scrum giving the worst questions?
I don't know. That's probably. I think Denise Salcedo has taken up that baton.
It looks like WrestleJoy hasn't posted on their site since December. They're still.
Yeah, last thing is on Final Battle. So that's tell you how it's going.
I mean, they're probably cheap. They're cheap then.
They have a Patreon and a Discord. Maybe I'm trying to find an email where I can send them a bid for the site. Nothing, no email in here. All right, well,
Interesting. Their Patreon's not active. Weird.
I'll reach out to Snowden. He was close with those guys.
Oh yeah, I like Snowden. Good guy.
I think it was them who posted the thing that was like, voting is oozy, voting is cowboy shit, voting is like, just like made me be like, okay, I don't like democracy anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop. Voting is kind of passe. All right. I like some of our options here with Ducky saying Violent People Plus, Park saying Violent People ID. All right.
VPID.
Ducky asks a question: if you could have a Minecraft movie match, which wrestlers would be in it, and what weapons would they use?
I'm gonna be honest.
Well,
I don't really know anything about Minecraft, so I need someone to help me out with like, what would a Minecraft movie match?
Mark Briscoe is one of them because he's chicken. We just need a chicken jockey.
All right.
Actually, what I'm imagining now is one of those like Schlack versus Tremont matches where it's like they had all the concrete blocks, but they're just building stuff out of them halfway through the match.
Now, Jack Black and Mark Briscoe in 2025 don't not look like each other.
That's
Like,
disrespectful to Mark Briscoe.
They could be in the same family.
If it's a movie match, it has to be Mark Briscoe versus Paul Walter Hauser.
Oh shit! Why didn't Phil and TK bring in Paul for Dean?
Oh my! I mean, who knows? Maybe
Yes,
you've got enough time to start.
Well, they sent me the card already. He's not on it.
You've got the phone line to. It would be so funny if they were like, "Sorry, Daniel Makabe, we are. Fortunately, there's no more room for you on the card. Bryan Danielson is coming back to face Paul Walter Hauser."
I mean, Paul Walter Hauser, he's available. Makabe, I know he said he would come out of retirement for this match, but I mean, he's retired.
Where he's ring ready. He can go right now.
Yeah.
He's a champion. That would be an issue too. I mean, would Progress let him lose?
You got to protect the Progress belts at all costs.
All right. Next question. Eamon, if the podcast was turned into an RPG party, what class would everyone be? Feel free to use both D&D type classes, fighter, rogue, wizard, etc., or something more along the lines of JRPG system, summoner, black mage, dragoon, etc. Also, for the other host, what was your favorite question for this week that Sam said he didn't understand, didn't answer? We can save that one. Because there's a couple more questions after.
No,
this.
no. My favorite is just your bewilderment and then refusal to answer about which wrestler would make a song about sucking their cousin's dick.
Yeah, that's got to be my answer too.
You really picked the
fair.
coward's way out there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't want to bring that to light. Okay.
I mean, you
Um,
asked the question, so you weren't trying to hide it. You just wanted the rest of us to jump off that cliff.
And y'all did willingly, just hopped in.
So wait,
What
what's
is
the
this
question?
RPG question?
Who do we want to be, or what would
No,
we be?
what class would we be?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a berserker.
Sure.
I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Either like a bard or a rogue. I'm known for my singing and the stealing.
Yeah, I'd call you a bard.
Yeah.
Call you a bard. You like to spin
I
a
would
tail.
be a druid just so I could talk to animals. I mean, I'm pretty sure that of my past work experience, druid probably most closely aligns. So
All right.
Sam, you
All
got
right.
any thoughts on what you'd be?
Warlock? Warlock. I don't know, folks. I don't know about this one. I tried. Next question from Steph. Top 10 The Rock moments.
Number one, when he fucking drilled Ken Shamrock with a chair on that episode of Raw.
Hell yeah.
When
Number
Ken Shamrock
10,
did not
dude.
put anything, he did not put up a hand, did not do anything, and Rock attempted to kill him.
Number 2 through 10, who gives a shit?
Number 2 through 10 is the individual chair shots on Mick Foley's head in the I Quit match.
Yeah.
Only if when you watch the Beyond the Mat version, we get to watch like his family cry.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I can't
If
really.
only there was a version of that episode of Raw where you see like Frank Shamrock crying.
I can't really pick individual moments. I think The Rock, as a whole, is just a great movie. So
I do
watch
love
the entire thing.
Okay. Fuck me.
I mean,
I hated that
you're not
answer.
wrong. It is good. But also underrated Rock moment, or maybe correctly rated nowadays, is I love that it's a meme now to link the clip of him yelling "Shut up, bitch," because there are so many times where I just wish I could like just end a conversation by sending someone that.
All right. Next question. Pork, how would you rank your other 3 host performances in this episode of the podcast?
Pat, Chris, Sam.
Oh, that's rude. That's rude.
I'm going to
I
give
don't
you
know.
all 5 stars out of infinity.
That's the right answer.
I missed
That's the
that.
right answer.
I was ranking them in order. I took it a different way. You didn't say how would you
So-
rate them. How would you rank them? If I was going to rank you guys, maybe you're all 5s out of 5. Maybe you're all great, but you can't be even.
All right.
All right. Well,
Okay.
for that, Dan is now 5 1/4 out of
Yeah.
infinity.
Get him up. Get him up. All right. Next question. Tim, do you think VPR will come out before QNTR?
I'm going to say yeah.
Yeah, I think we got this.
Seems like it.
I don't think they're recording right now, to my knowledge. Andy asks, are we getting a big ass BNB for Dean 3? To be determined. Dan will be footing the bill if so.
I'm gonna go ahead and say right now, if I'm footing the bill, you need to be able to legally drink alcohol or maybe rent a car. If you're in
Oh
this
my
B&B.
god.
Too many old
Wow,
people.
how
Too many young
fucking
people in this
rude.
Discord.
How rude.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm going to take the controversial stance of I am not staying in a B&B with teenagers.
Yeah, I will be staying with my
it
wife.
just seems like a bad idea.
Why can't your wife stay with a bunch of violent people?
And it seems bananas. Are these people allowed to rent Airbnb?
One time,
I know I couldn't get a hotel when I was 18.
well, Airbnb, I think you can. I think you can at a hotel. But one time I got a bad Airbnb review because I said there was supposed to be 3 of us, and at the last second, there was a 4th, and it was a 4-year-old child. We ended up not going to the movie we were going to go see because we were all so tired. We went to bed at 8:45 that night. The next day, he said, he's lies about the number of people, and he makes lots of noise. I don't know what he's talking about, but he's right. I did actually lie.
I believe both of those things are true.
We didn't make noise. We went in and went to bed.
No, I think that kid was a fucking menace.
Oh my god.
All right.
It's like he was ready. He's a liar.
That's it. I think that's a wrap, folks. Those are the questions. Thanks for asking. Maybe if we answered them or not.
Also, the Cavs won the night.
Go. Good for them. Good for them.
I forgot. The Pistons won again?
Won a game. Yeah.
Won again. I wanted Chris to break out in the song.
The Pistons won again. You know the Pistons won again.
There it is.
'Cause all we do is fucking win.
I'm not familiar with this song.
You're going to be hearing it a lot more.
No, I think we're done with that song. JB and Cat, they're turning the corner. We're only good things to come.
Did Cat play in the 4th quarter of the last game?
He
it's
very
to be
technically he
determined.
did.
Okay.
To be determined.
He was on the court.
Hard to say. Hard to make
We
heads
cover-
or tails of that situation.
Your
Even the
definition
NBA
of
talk.
playing.
All right. Oh, congrats to the Boston Celtics. They won tonight too.
Thank you. Thank you.